Control these four things and watch your life transform instantly. Your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money. Because the truth is, success doesn't start with luck or connections. It starts with discipline in the areas most people ignore. I've seen talented people sabotage themselves, not because they lacked ability, but because they never learned how to control what comes out of their mouth, what lives in their head, how they respond emotionally, and how they treat their finances. Let's start with your mouth, because words create reality faster than people realize. Every time you speak, you're either building your future or tearing it down. Complaining, gossiping, making excuses. That's not harmless talk, that's programming. When you constantly speak negativity, you train your brain to expect less from life. Leaders speak with intention. They don't announce every plan. They don't react emotionally. They understand that silence is often more powerful than noise. When you control your mouth, you stop leaking energy and start directing it toward growth. Now your mind, that's the real battlefield. If you can't control your thoughts, you'll never control your outcomes. Your mind will replay failures, magnify fear, and convince you to quit long before you're actually done. Discipline starts when you challenge those thoughts instead of obeying them. You don't need a perfect mindset. You need a trained one. A mind that says, I'll figure it out instead of I can't. A mind that focuses on solutions instead of problems. The strongest people I know aren't fearless. They're focused. They don't let negative thoughts run the show. Then there's your mood. This is where most people lose momentum. They let temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions. One bad day turns into a bad attitude. One setback turns into self-doubt. Leaders don't wait to feel good to do the work. They do the work and let the mood catch up later. Emotional control is a superpower. When you can stay calm under pressure, composed in chaos, and focused when things aren't going your way. You separate yourself from the crowd. Your mood shouldn't be controlled by people, circumstances, or opinions. It should be controlled by your purpose. And finally, your money. Not how much you make, but how you think about it. Money is a reflection of discipline. If you can't manage small amounts, large amounts will only amplify your problems. Successful people respect money. They track it. They invest it. They don't spend emotionally to impress people they don't care about. They understand money is a tool, not a trophy. When you control your money, you buy freedom. Freedom of choice, freedom of time, freedom of opportunity. Financial discipline isn't about restriction, it's about direction. Here's what ties all four together: control, not control over others, control over yourself. That's the highest level of power. When you control your mouth, you protect your vision. When you control your mind, you protect your confidence. When you control your mood, you protect your momentum. When you control your money, you protect your future. Most people are waiting for motivation. Winners build discipline, and discipline in these four areas will change how you walk, how you think, how you decide, and how you live. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start paying attention to what you say, what you think, how you react, and where your money goes. Control those four, and you won't recognize your life a year from now. Your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money. Control these four things, and your life will change in ways most people can't even imagine. I need you to understand this deeply, because so many people wonder why they work hard, take risks, and still don't get the results they're aiming for. It's rarely because of talent or opportunity. It's because they haven't learned to control the things that truly shape their destiny. The words you speak, the thoughts you allow to take hold, the way you respond emotionally, and the way you handle your finances. They are the levers that move your life forward or hold you back, and mastery over them separates the average from the extraordinary. Let's start with your mouth, because the words you speak are more powerful than you realize. Everything you say has energy behind it. Every time you complain, excuse, or gossip, you reinforce limitations in your life. You teach your brain to accept less. You teach the people around you what to expect from you. On the other hand, intentional speech, words of encouragement, clarity, positivity, and focus, sets the tone for your reality. Leaders understand that silence can be as powerful as speech. Speaking with intention protects your energy, reinforces your vision, and attracts the right people and opportunities to you. If you can't control your mouth, you give away power that could otherwise build your life. Next is your mind, which is the control center of everything you do. A disciplined mind is like a well-oiled machine. It filters out distractions, focuses on solutions, and drives action even when circumstances are tough. Most people let their minds run wild with fear, doubt, and negativity, and then wonder why their results don't match their efforts. You must learn to direct your thoughts intentionally. Train your mind to focus on opportunity, not limitation, to see lessons instead of Obstacles. To trust your ability to figure things out instead of assuming failure is inevitable. Your mind creates your reality, and if you can master your thinking, you can master your outcomes. Discipline in your mental space ensures that your decisions, your actions, and your resilience align with the life you want to create. Your mood is the third pillar, and it's one people underestimate. Emotional control is the difference between someone who survives challenges and someone who thrives through them. Life will test you. It will throw setbacks, stress, and frustration your way. And if your mood controls your actions, you'll react impulsively and sabotage your progress. But if you learn to control your emotional state, you gain stability and clarity even in chaos. Leaders maintain composure under pressure, make thoughtful decisions when others panic, and inspire confidence through their calm presence. Your emotional state influences every decision, interaction, and opportunity, and mastering it allows you to navigate challenges without losing focus or direction. And then there's money, not just how much you earn, but how you manage it. Money reflects discipline, mindset, and foresight. Too many people chase wealth without understanding it, spend without strategy, and let emotions drive financial choices. Financial control is a skill, and it affects every other area of your life. When you manage your money with purpose, tracking it, saving it, investing it wisely, you buy yourself freedom. Freedom to make decisions without panic, freedom to take calculated risks, freedom to invest in your growth and your future. Discipline with money is not restriction, it is empowerment. Controlling your money ensures you can support your dreams instead of being held back by poor decisions. When you combine these four areas, your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money, you start parading from a position of power instead of chaos. Controlling your mouth protects your energy and builds respect. Controlling your mind aligns your thoughts with your goals. Controlling your mood ensures consistent action and resilience. Controlling your money secures your freedom and opportunity. Together, they form a foundation for a life of results, growth, and influence that most people never achieve because they let one or more of these areas run wild. Discipline in these areas is not about perfection. It's about awareness and consistent practice. It's about catching yourself when you complain, when fear creeps into your thinking, when frustration threatens to derail your actions, and when spending decisions are made impulsively. Each time you regain control, you strengthen your ability to create the life you want. The small daily victories in these four areas compound over time into massive transformation. If you commit to mastering these four levers, you will notice immediate shifts in your life. Your relationships improve because your words are intentional. Your productivity skyrockets because your mind is focused. Your resilience strengthens because your mood doesn't control you. Your opportunities expand because your financial discipline allows you to act boldly. And the best part is that this transformation is entirely in your control. You don't have to wait for luck, approval, or timing. You start today by taking responsibility for what you say, think, feel, and spend, and the ripple effect will transform your entire life. Control your mouth, mind, mood, and money, and you'll discover a level of personal power most people never experience, because these four areas are the pillars that define how you interact with the world, how you respond to challenges, and how you create opportunity. Too many people focus on external circumstances, waiting for the right job, the right connection, or the right break, without realizing that the real leverage lies within. The way you speak, the way you think, the way you manage your emotions, and the way you handle your finances determines whether you're in control of your life or simply reacting to it. Mastering these four elements transforms not just your results, but your confidence, your clarity, and your ability to influence your own destiny. Let's start with your mouth, because words are not just sounds, they are actions in themselves. Every time you speak, you send signals to your brain, to your team, and to the world about who you are and what you value. Complaining, gossiping, or making excuses is more than just negative. It's programming your mind to accept limitations. It drains energy, destroys focus, and attracts negativity. On the other hand, speaking with intention, expressing gratitude, and using words to inspire or create solutions builds your internal momentum and shapes the perception of those around you. Control over your mouth allows you to protect your vision, reinforce your values, and ensure that every word you release adds to your progress rather than taking away from it. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency and awareness. Your mind is the next and perhaps most important control point. A disciplined mind is like a command center that dictates every outcome in your life. Most people let their thoughts run unchecked. They replay fears, exaggerate failures, and magnify obstacles until they feel insurmountable. But your mind is a tool, not a tyrant. You have to train it like a muscle to focus on solutions instead of problems, to seek opportunity in setbacks, to prioritize growth over comfort. Control over your mind means taking ownership of your mental space. It means catching negative or limiting thoughts before they become actions. It means develop the ability to focus relentlessly on what you can influence and letting go of what you cannot. When your mind is disciplined, your decisions are smarter, your confidence stronger, and your actions far more aligned with the life you want to create. Your mood is another critical area that most people overlook, yet it drives every decision and interaction you have. Emotional control is not about suppressing feelings. It's about mastering your response to them. Life will always throw stress, disappointment, and frustration your way. If you let your emotions dictate your behavior, you'll sabotage opportunities, relationships, and results. But if you learn to regulate your mood, to maintain composure under pressure, and to act intentionally rather than react impulsively, you create stability in chaos. Leaders, successful entrepreneurs, and high performers don't wait to feel good before they act. They act with discipline and let their emotional state catch up later. When you master your mood, you stop letting temporary circumstances determine permanent outcomes. Money is the fourth pillar, and it's often the most revealing indicator of discipline and control. Financial management is not just about accumulating wealth. It's about making intentional choices that protect your future and expand your options. Too many people make spending decisions emotionally, chasing status or instant gratification, and then wonder why they feel trapped. Successful people understand that money is a tool, a lever for freedom, and a reflection of discipline. They track it, invest it, save strategically, and spend purposefully. When you control your money, you gain options, you gain leverage, you gain the ability to make choices based on opportunity rather than necessity. Money discipline isn't restriction, it's empowerment. When you combine control over your mouth, mind, mood, and money, you create an unstoppable foundation. Words influence perception and energy. Thoughts dictate belief and direction. Emotions determine action and resilience. Finances enable freedom and opportunity. Together, they create alignment, power, and momentum in every aspect of your life. Mastery in these four areas isn't just about success. It's about freedom. It's about creating the conditions where you can operate at your highest potential without being derailed by internal chaos or external distractions. The journey to control these four areas requires intentionality and self-awareness. It begins with noticing patterns, catching yourself in moments of distraction or reaction, and making a conscious choice to act differently. Each time you speak with purpose instead of complaint, each time you redirect a limiting thought into a constructive one, each time you manage your mood rather than let it manage you, and each time you make a disciplined financial choice, you strengthen your ability to create lasting impact. These are small daily victories, but their effect compounds exponentially over time, transforming your life in ways that feel almost effortless once the habit becomes natural. The people who transform their lives fastest are not necessarily the most talented or the luckiest. They are the ones who master these fundamentals. They control their energy, their focus, their reactions, and their resources. They don't wait for the perfect circumstances. They create control over the circumstances they can influence. They understand that freedom and opportunity are born from discipline, not desire. And because they have mastered these four pillars, they can handle challenges, navigate setbacks, and capitalize on opportunities that would overwhelm someone less prepared. Control your mouth, mind, mood, and money, and you will see your life transform, your relationships improve, because your words and emotional stability create trust. Your productivity skyrockets because your mind is focused and clear. Your resilience strengthens because your mood doesn't dictate your actions. Your opportunities expand because financial discipline gives you leverage and choice. And the transformation doesn't stop at results. It changes your identity, your confidence, your habits, and your perspective. You stop being reactive and you start being intentional. You stop being controlled by circumstance and you start controlling your destiny. Master these four areas and you'll operate at a level most people only dream.